To begin with, we will assemble the gearbox axle. This is how the beginning of the shaft assembly should look like. To fix the gear, put some thread locker on its bolt before tightening it. After attaching the gear, slide in the first bearing and press the E-clip onto the notch next to the bearing. Then slide on another 2 bearings and the differential gear. Try placing the assembled shaft in the gearbox and see if it fits. Place the shaft in the upper part of the gearbox together with the differential. Close the gearbox by placing the lower part of the gearbox on the assembly. Screw in temporary any long screws to secure position of wishbones. Now screw in the main gearbox screws M3 by 10 mm. Make sure the differential moves smoothly, otherwise, loosen the screws slightly. Now it moves as smoothly as it should. Now we will show a method on how to check the alignment of the gears. Holding the gear cover to the gearbox, you can put the motor with the motor mount plate and the pre-screwed sprocket together. If at this point, the gears overlap more than 2/3, you can apply thread locker to the motor gear screw and screw it together finally. Place the M3 nut in the gear cover for later adjustment of the motor position. Now we will screw on the gear cover using 3 M3 30 mm screws. The version shown in the video has only 2, as it has a cutout showing the rotation and alignment of the gears. Now we will set the proximity of the engine gear to the gearbox gear. Important: the gears should not gain significant friction after performing this step. For the purpose of an example, we will now show the drag that can be reached when tightening too much against each other. We can barely turn the differential. For For this reason, we need to loosen a little just the lower or both screws. Now the gears have gained some room to work, so we can turn the differential without much effort. Slowly tighten the mounting screws, while checking whether the friction has increased. If so, again loosen the screws slightly and try to screw the assembly slightly, while pushing the gears away from each other. Now we will screw in the screw that secures the spacing of the gears. Screw it in until it rests against the motor mounting screw. Finally, check again if the force you need to use to move the differential has not increased. Done. In this step, we will adjust the screwing force of the rear suspension rocker. This is how the rocker behaves when it is over-tightened. Now the rocker is too loose, which is evident in the looseness at the bearing. At this point, the rocker moves smoothly, as it should, at the same time having no looseness at the bearing. This is how correct shock absorber compression should look like.